See if this writes. Yes, it does. Okay. That's good then. Oh, hey everybody. Hey. I'm sorry, I didn't know you guys were already watching. Well, I guess it's time for another moment with Michael. And it's been so long since I've done one. I've just been so focused on school. I've been so focused on everything that's been going on for my future and everything. Zeroing in on my studies is the most important thing. But guess what? No homework whatsoever, although I'm still studying up a bit. But you want to know something? I've decided to take a break and do a moment with Michael. And you want to know something? Because it's been so long, I guess I might as well do a long one. About, I don't know. Well, you'll get what I'm saying in just a few seconds or so. Any case, this is what I'm going to be watching today. Chopped All-Stars, Season 2, Episode 4, Judge Remix, posted by XXX Crosby 87XX. All those X's. Oh boy. I don't know about that. But, let's see. Reading the description, talking about a promotion for another user. Okay. Contestants Chris Santos, Charity, Rett Syndrome Research Trust in Trimble, Connecticut. Wonder what that one's all about. Mark Murphy, who is playing for City Harvest in New York City, New York. Alex Cornishelli, my favorite judge, playing for the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. Wonderful. That's wonderful. And Marcus Samuelson, Charity, CCAP, Careers Through Culinary Arts Program of New York City, New York. And the judges are Jeffrey Zakarian, the newest Iron Chef, if my memory serves me right. Okay, I think I just got that from Chairman Kaga. Whoopsie daisy. Oh well. Amanda Freitag and Aaron Sanchez. Oh man, I like that. Well, why not? Well, first of all, let me explain what Chopped is in case you guys do not know what it is. Chopped is a Food Network competition show. It's a knockout competition. 4 chefs from different points of different restaurants everywhere around the nation go to this one kitchen based by Food Network, and they compete for $10,000. And they have to compete in appetizer, entree, and dessert. And each round has a basket of mystery ingredients, and they must use every ingredient in that basket in some way, little or much, depending on their tastes. And at the end, the judges will taste their dishes and judge on presentation, taste, and also creativity. But if their dish doesn't cut it, they will be chopped, as in knocked out from the competition. And the player who is left standing at the end of the show wins $10,000. Now, at time to time, they actually do different sorts of competitions for $50,000, like Chopped Champions, which is inviting back different champions from different shows and everything, and also special charity shows, much like this one. So, why not? I guess I might as well. Throw a little twist in there. But let's go ahead and watch Chopped All-Stars Season 2, Episode 4, Judge Remix. Okay. See that? I've been so concentrated, but that happens sometimes. But let's get this underway.
A challenge was made and accepted. Acclaimed celebrity chefs, your favorite Food Network stars, and our judges battle it out to win $50,000 for their favorite charity. This is Chopped.
My man, Michael!
This is the put their money where their mouths are, gotta see it, anything can happen fight that you've been waiting for. 4 of our own judges moments away from heading to the Chopped kitchen. 3 celebrity chefs have already earned their spots in the $50,000
Michael,
All-Stars
Jeffrey,
finale.
I forgot her name.
We know that the last spot will be going to a Chopped judge. But which one? Our first judge-turned-competitor is Chef Chris Santos, whose Lower East Side hotspots Beauty and Essex and the Stanton Social have redefined downtown dining.
Sorry, guys. You're getting knocked out.
Next we have Alex Cornishelli, executive chef at the chic New York City restaurant Butter and Nouveau Supper Club, The Derby.
I love you guys, but I'm going to be the last one standing.
Then there's Chef Marcus Samuelson, acclaimed Scandinavian cuisine expert, now presiding over the hottest eatery in Harlem, Red Rooster.
I've been waiting for this, and I'm ready.
And the final brave competitor for our judges' face-off is Mark Murphy.
He's a toughie.
Chef owner of the very successful New York restaurant group, Landmark.
Chris, Alex, Marcus, we're all friends here, but today, watch your back.
course, you know the rules, but I'm going to recite them for you anyway because it's what I live for.
You go,
There are
Ted.
3 rounds: appetizer, entree, and dessert. Each course comes with its own basket of mystery ingredients. You must use every ingredient in the basket in some way, be it a little or a lot. Also available to you, our pantry and fridge. Each round is timed. When the clock runs out, the judges, to clarify, that's not you in this case, will critique your dishes on presentation, taste, and creativity. If your dish doesn't cut it, you will not move on to the next round. You will be chopped.
I read Alex's lips.
You'll get to compete in the All-Stars finale, where $50,000 will go to the favorite charity of whoever is able to take the top honors there. Are you ready to make this role reversal real?
Yes.
Yes.
Do it. Yes.
Do it to it.
Yes. Please open your baskets. The mandatory ingredients for the appetizer round are potato pancakes, purple kohlrabi, Korean melon, and goat brains. You have exactly 20 minutes on the clock. Time starts now.
I don't know who's more nervous, me or that.
I love being a top judge, but if you're going to judge other people, then you should experience the process yourself.
Definitely.
Goat brain is incredibly creamy. It's just an automatic rich element. I have to poach these for a minute and just give them a little shower. I don't want to toughen them up. So I decided to make curried goat brains, seared and served with a mustard vinaigrette. I love my fellow judges. They're all cute and nice and everything, but it's gotta be a girl today, guys.
And she's the only one there.
He's rinsing into the pantry. The way he's moving around is unbelievable.
I've competed in another cooking competition, and for the President of the United States, the cooking arena, nothing can compare to that. The clock is ticking, and the basket is what drives me what I'm going to do. I've never cooked goat brains, I cooked lamb brains. I know it has tissue, so I want to be delicate with that. And I see kohlrabi and the Korean melon. I think what this dish that we used to eat at home in Sweden, it's called pyttipanna. Literally ate it out of a big pan, and it's a hash. So bacon, apples, goat brain came to my mind right away. And the potato pancakes, I knew I wanted to fold that in so you get textures and flavors that match well. I was born in Ethiopia, and then I got adopted to Sweden. My dish is really a homage to my family.
Nice shout out there, Marcus.
I've been training in the sport of boxing for about 15 years, so I'm definitely competitive. And I want to show these guys that I can run.
He did all that.
The first round, I want to make a quesadilla because you can make a quesadilla out of most ingredients. And then there's this potato pancake, and it is so dry that I can barely swallow it. The only way that I can do anything to salvage this potato is to fry it so that it can just soak up some fat. Because I'm very direct, I think the viewers at home think that maybe I'm this mean guy or something. But when things don't work, I want the chef to understand why it's not working. If that doesn't make me a bad guy, I'm a nice guy, I promise.
The greatest thing about Chopped is that we get to see this young talent walk through here all the time. And today it's just as exciting for me because I get to open those baskets and actually cook.
And
I'm
not
going to
judge.
poach off these brains, so I'm going to leave them on the fire for about a minute or two and let them poach slowly. I'm making seared goat brains on top of a spicy slaw. Purple kohlrabi. It's just like a cabbage. Or I can just toss it into a slaw with the melon. Last time we did this, I was one of the judges. I feel sorry for those guys that we're going to have to judge today. This is unbelievable here.
I'm kind of freaking out.
And there's an inner fear that just comes over you that's inherent in all of these judges.
They have a job to do. They're here to get a spot on the final for $50,000 for their charity.
Today I'm competing for the St. Jude's Children's Hospital. I have a 4-year-old. I'm really enjoying watching her grow up. And I just think that all children deserve to enjoy their childhood and reach adulthood whole and happy.
Wow.
I want this dish to have something acidic because I think in an appetizer it's really important to hit different notes. I'm mixing some sherry vinegar with mustard, a little bit of anchovy oil. I also sliced some gherkins and mixed them into the vinaigrette for a little bite.
You know, to win today, I'm going to have to really manage the clock. I want to make sure that I cook these goat brains perfectly so that they firm up, but they still have a creamy, unctuous texture. My dish is going to be playful because I'm going to pair the goat brains with goat cheese. So my quesadilla is going to live up to my reputation for creating whimsical, delicious, fun food.
I've been cooking for a long time, and I've been lucky in my career because I worked hard, and that's why I'm really excited to compete for CCAP, Career Through Culinary Arts. I've trained so many young cooks that probably wouldn't be in the industry if it wouldn't be for CCAP. It tastes the Korean melon, and it's crunchy and soft and sweet. So I add a little bit of thickness to it. Right? It's going to brighten up the dish.
Add a little bite to it, I think.
I'm making this sauce for my slaw with spicy chili hot sauce and mayonnaise. But I need something pickly. I need something acidy in this dish. So I sliced cucumber, grabbed some vinegar, some sugar, some water, bring it to a boil. I know 20 minutes is not much time. I got to get this done quick.
Oh, now he's starting to feel the
Right, Chef,
pressure.
you've got 5 minutes left on the clock.
With the purple kohlrabi and the green melon, I know the quickest thing I can do is to make a delicious salsa. So I add some diced pepper, I add some scallion, some cilantro, some lime juice, and a little bit of chili powder. I got my quesadillas in the pan, but the pan's a little too hot. Quesadillas are too dark. Right now I'm worried I'm even going to finish, but I can't serve this to the judges.
This is tough. Now they're starting to feel the pressure.
Chris is making quesadillas and he threw them away.
He doesn't like the way they came out.
I burnt my tortillas. I can't serve this to the judges. So I pull out the 2 top tortillas, I replace it with 2 fresh tortillas, and I let the quesadilla cook off the heat. This is a serious, fierce competition, but I can seriously cook.
All 3 of you have been in their shoes. What is it like?
This is terrifying.
And then when you start cooking, it's actually a relief to some extent because you're doing what's inside you.
I'm going to toss the brains in a little bit of flour, black sesame seeds, paprika, salt, and pepper. Cook them off in a little bit of oil, and then I'm going to hit it with butter because I can get that nice brown color on the outside.
I want to start cooking my goat brain at the right moment and just brown them in some butter with
3 minutes?
I'm going to add a few slices of chili, just waking that richness up and letting it know that it's not going to be the boss of the whole dish.
Chefs, this is a 2-minute warning.
Keep the door open, keep the door open. I run to the refrigerator, I grab some cilantro, and the stuff collapses.
I noticed it.
He's losing the pantry.
I just destroyed the pancake, and I'm letting it go.
It just snapped!
Everything is going wrong, and I may not be able to more sympathy when I see a chef going through what I'm going through right now, because what I'm going through right now is not good. But I will get all those ingredients on the plate, and they will be delicious. I totally destroyed the pantry.
The clock is ticking, so I start thinking about what could be my life on that. And that's when the romaine lettuce came in.
And chefs, we have 1 minute left on the clock.
60
Every one of
seconds.
these people are nervous. You can see their hands, and they do not want to lose.
No.
It's stressful to be in the chop
Their
kitchen.
charities are
When
depending
you're
on
doing a
them.
competition like this, you have very little time to think.
5, 4, 3,
Come on, finish
2,
it.
1. Time's up. Please step back.
This is cruel. This is every bit as hard as I expected it to be, if not harder.
I feel for the judges that are judging today. It's a really difficult decision to chop somebody here, especially when it's amongst friends.
Exactly.
Chefs, you've arrived at the south side of the chopping block.
Usually they're on the north side.
You were given potato pancakes, purple kohlrabi, Korean melon, and goat brains.
Chef Chris. It's a goat brain, potato, and goat cheese quesadilla with a Korean melon and purple kohlrabi salsa.
I think you have wonderful seasoning. I think you took the goat brain and elevated it.
And I love the fact that you use goat brain and goat cheese. That's really fun.
It makes a nice
First of all,
combo.
I just want to say how much I respect everybody here. And really, to watch you guys cook, it's like cinema, it really is. That being said, we get back to business here. I would have liked to see a bit more dressing of the kohlrabi and the Korean melon. I love the spice. I would like to even go further.
My only critique here would be to just serve the salad on the side, because it made the outside a little bit moist.
Tell us about your charity.
I play for the Rett Syndrome Research Trust. The little girl in this picture is my cousin. She suffers from Rett Syndrome. It affects only girls. Baby girls are born normal development, and then anywhere from 12 to 18 months. In Madison's case, at 4, she started to lose control of motor skills. She's now 10, and she needs 24-hour care. Rett syndrome is very often misdiagnosed as cerebral palsy or autism. It's a horrible, horrible disease.
I cannot believe how much I learned about Chris Santos today. Being a man, imagine identifying with a disease that only affects girls.
Chef Chris, thank you. Next up, Chef Alex.
I made for you today a seared goat brain with a little bit of curry on a very acidic mustard vinaigrette with celery, melon, kohlrabi, and parsley. I think I put a tribute to every bit of acidity that I've missed sitting there as a judge.
What you did with the potato pancake? Brilliant.
Does that taste like bacon?
Brilliant. I thought it was bacon for a second.
This plate is so well balanced and thoughtful, and I like the fact that you put some jalapeno in there for me.
Thank you.
If I were to critique this, I think it's a little busy for me. But it's just delicious, and delicious is what counts to me.
Thank you.
And next we go to Chef Marcus.
This is actually a dish that my grandmother would cook for us, pita panna. It's a hash, and I used goat brain, bacon, and a little bit of apple.
I love the fact that you transform the goat and it's not lost within the bacon. I would just like to see more lettuce leaves so I could stuff all that goodness in more of that.
That pickle is one of my favorite things on the plate. But then I ate that piece of melon and I really enjoyed the transformation.
I agree, but it's very salty for me, so that's something I can't overlook.
Last appetizer, Chef Mark.
I'm going to call this seared goat brain on top of a spicy pickled salad. You added a lot of seasoning to the brain, and it's unctuous and it's beautiful and it melts in your mouth. And I love the pickle. It's bright and acidic. You need that because that's super creamy and rich.
The layers of Mark are sort of on this dish, with the potato on the bottom.
I think the least favorite part of my dish, unfortunately, Mark, was the potato. I never thought I'd say that, but maybe it's not really repurposed enough.
I was jealous of Alex's use of the potato, I have to say.
Mark, you're really a piece of work, man. Seriously.
What are you playing for today?
City Harvest is something that's close to me. It's a New York City-based organization that takes food that's really not going to be used and gives it to people that need it. And it's really nice to see how New Yorkers take care of each other.
There we go. That's amazing. That's amazing.
You don't want to shop any of us, but it's for charity. It's a good time. Somebody's got to go home first. That's the game.
But it's good though for the viewer to see us on both sides of the coin. Sometimes you're a seller, sometimes you're a buyer. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you're destroying a refrigerator. Sometimes you're watching it be destroyed.
So objectivity, I think, is really key here.
Just what we saw on the plate is how we're going to make this decision.
You're right, but even the mistakes were delicious, and that's the problem. It's delicious mistakes. But I think that one chef really shone through for me today, and that was Alex. It was just fiery and spicy and just genius, but just too much going on her plate.
Marcus did the best with the kohlrabi today, and pickling it is one of the best ways to use it.
And he transformed the melon, made it a very acidic, bright, pickled,
but it was too salty. And I think Chris had a really smart idea to do a quesadilla as a first course, simply because the flavors you put in here sort of awaken you.
I agree, but I just thought he made a mistake by serving that wet salsa and salad on top and nullified the crispiness.
Mark, for me, was the best goat brain. It was seasoned perfectly, it was creamy on the inside. He executed it perfectly.
However, I thought the potato pancake was like soggy. I saw him put it in the oven and chop it up and put it on the bottom of the plate as if to say, just I'm gonna put this here, you know?
So, do you know which chopped judge has to hear me say you have been chopped?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think we do.
I came here to win, but priority number one today is raising awareness for Rett syndrome.
So if I win here today, $50,000 can feed a lot of New Yorkers.
So I'm losing my sentences here.
Whose dish is on the chopping block?
I'm losing my sentences.
So, whose dish is on the chopping block?
Oh, Chris!
You've been chopped.
Chris.
Bring it. It's okay.
I mean, you know how painful this is. I love your food, and that was exactly your food. It was delicious. It was creative. There's just a few execution errors. I mean, we had to split hairs here. But the awareness that you're bringing to that charity, just by standing here talking about it,
That's why I was here.
I think that's huge.
He did the right thing. And he at least succeeded.
Thank you guys.
Great
Amazing.
respect.
It's unfortunate I don't get a chance to move on, but this is what happens in the Chop Kitchen, and I've seen it too many times. But it's bittersweet because I was able to bring awareness to something that's really, really important to me.
Wow. God bless that girl.
Chef Alex, Chef Marcus, Chef Mark, please open your baskets. And for the entree course, you must use rack of Berkshire pork, kusa, grape molasses, and preserved duck eggs.
This egg is a mummified egg, and now it's in this chop basket. Yeah, he's trying to kill me.
30 minutes on the countdown clock, starting now.
Wow.
Holy kusa. Holy kusa.
In round two, I know that with these shots that I'm up against, I need to bring something big. I put her down for board. Then straight in the pan.
He's doing pretty good with the seasoning.
Season it, smoked paprika, some chili, cumin, cardamom, some searing. And when the cool's out, blanch it so it's soft. And then to develop flavors, I take shallot, I take garlic, I take ginger, molasses, and just cook that as a compote. I was born in a country that was really less fortunate, so I think for me as a chef, it's really important to give back. And throughout the years, CCAP has helped hundreds and hundreds of inner city kids.
Cooking is something that I'm really passionate about because I'm dyslexic and I have a learning disability. In school, I didn't do well, so I goofed off. But cooking gave me a
You learn
direction.
a lot
and it gave
just
me
by
focus.
watching the show.
I'm butchering the pork as quickly as possible because I want to get it marinating. And I think juniper berry is going to go really well with the pork flavor.
Juniper berry.
I'm making a pork medallion with white bean ragu, kuzo, and a yogurt sauce.
The egg doesn't really fit with the rest of the ingredients.
The best way to describe the flavor is think of something that has passed away and you were asked to consume it. And I get the cannellini beans and I'm going to cook that down and then I'm going to add the duck eggs to give a little bit of backbone.
Make me cry, Aaron.
My cooking philosophy is really to keep things simple. So give me molasses and a pork chop, and I'm gonna glaze it. I cut my pork chop thick because I love the heft of a double cut chop. It makes me feel American. I'm going to sear the pork chops in hot oil while my griddle heats up so that I build momentum cooking the pork.
Good idea,
Making a
Alex.
huge double chop of pork. It's tough to get that cooked through. It's going to be very tight. Very tight.
And with 25 minutes,
Kusa is a zucchini. It's got a really distinctive flavor, a little bit grassy almost. I'm going to cook the kusa in wedges, get a little charred effect. I grew up as an only child with two parents that did a lot of cooking, but it's amazing how at home a kitchen can make you feel when there's so much pressure.
an only child, just like me.
Rack of Berkshire pork. It's a heritage breed of pork, originally from England. Tons of flavor, fine texture.
When you come to the Chop Kitchen, you just have to come with all of your experience, then you have to wing it. I'm going to make a grape molasses, yogurt sauce, and throw some chives and mint in there.
Molasses and yogurt?
To the dish.
I'm going to put those duck eggs right away. I know what I'm going to do. I'm making a dashi.
I'm sorry, I wrote
Japanese broth, almost like a miso soup. Get those duckets in the broth. They have this sort of Japanese umami flavor. I learned cooking from my grandmother. We never wasted anything. So when I see pork trimming, are you kidding me? That's all flavor. In the broth with me. We are not cooking generic food here. It's a competition. I gotta remember my food.
All right, chefs, 15 minutes on the clock.
The halfway mark.
I'm looking at these duck eggs and I'm thinking, I gotta make it taste more like what it truly is. It's just a plain little egg that lost its way.
She made that
So
face.
I'm going to hard boil a couple eggs and chop them up with some bacon to create a nod to breakfast. What I'm doing today has a great personal significance to me as a mother. It's about something that's gonna change lives.
The excitement just gets bigger in the competition for the final spot in the All-Stars finale with our judges. And just look at the skill, look at the speed.
But you see what Chef Marcus is, he's tasting and seeing the evolution of his food. This is how you get it done.
That's important because you have to taste what you make just to be sure you satisfy your customers.
Sourdough, just add that in, picking it up.
Chefs, you're now down to 5 minutes.
I'm cooking extra pork medallions for two reasons. One, I want to eat one, and I also want to make sure I have one to cut open so I can check the temperature.
This kitchen is literally on fire right now. Mark's griddle's on fire. Alex's griddle's on fire.
I'm not taking it easy right now. I cut my pork chops thicker than anybody else and I'm worried that they're not cooked.
She was right.
Back onto the fire for Alex's big chop.
Now Alex is doing it very interesting. She's throwing water in the pork because it's going to increase the heat.
It's called desperation.
That's desperation braise. The only downside to that is it can toughen the meat.
1 minute left.
I'm down to the wire here. I really am thinking I'm not going to finish.
Second round. My charity,
Don't doubt yourself.
is over there somewhere, right? All of these things are at stake.
Marcus finishing with some beautiful black salt.
So you, today, can get everything I have.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. 2 step back.
Oh, they got it done.
You're never satisfied when you're given 4 mystery ingredients and you don't have enough time to cook them, but all's fair and chopped in war.
I am exhausted, but I'm extremely happy. I added a complexity level that I promised myself to add. Now, it's up to the judges.
It is up to the judges.
For the entree round, you were given bracket Berkshire pork, kusa, great molasses, and preserved duck eggs. Chef Alex.
I made for you today a seared double-cut pork chop with a molasses and sherry glaze, a bacon and egg and a sage salad, and a little bit of charred zucchini with ginger and mushrooms. I have a little experience with these preserved eggs, but found that it was definitely something I wanted to mask, and I felt that ginger was that cutting sort of note I was looking for.
I love the way that you think. The grilling of the chop, the fact that you left a fair amount of fat on the outside is wonderful because it seeps in all of that molasses, and I love the fact that you left the kusa whole, so I can really appreciate the whole integrity of it.
I also was thinking about bacon and eggs when I saw these ingredients, and I love what you did.
I love the double chop. It's delicious. If I were to say anything about this dish, I would say mine is a little tough, and I'd probably have to with the water.
Totally.
Chef Alex, thank you. Next, Chef Marcus.
Today I made for you a salted pork chop with kusa and molasses compote and a duck egg dashi. This is another dish that I feel like I marry some part of my experience. I've traveled a lot in Japan, so that's where the dashi comes from.
I'm trying to pick out the flavors, and it has one unique flavor, and that's just delicious.
Marcus, this is so complex. It's unbelievable. You were able to corral all of these influences and make it harmonious. And I love how the kusa is broken down and really made a compote. I've never eaten something like this.
The spices are so exotic, sort of all over the world here right now. And I think as I continue to eat it, it's getting a little bit muddy in a way. It's hard to pinpoint all the spices. Also, it's a little dry for me.
Chef Marcus, thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, Chef Mark.
I made pork medallions on white bean ragu with kusa sauteed with arugula, and I did a yogurt grape molasses sauce. I love the beans with that ashy preserved duck egg, and my only comment, Mark, would be some of the herbs got a little charred. It's got a little bit bitter. When I grill things, I like some of that charred burnt, and it's almost like you're kind of smoking it as well.
I really love what you did with the sauce. It really comes out, that sweetness and that creaminess. I can't eat all this, though. I'm going to try.
I really like this dish. The flavor of the pork is just terrific by itself. I mean, it's abundant. I'll be polite. But it's a very successful dish.
Thank you, chefs.
Oh, our work's done. That's the funny thing when you come back here, right? It's like it's sort of a relief. It's like, we're done. Now
But then you realize another one of you is about to go.
There's very few moments when we find ourselves satiated in the best of ways, and I think this entree course is just a continuing evolution of their unbelievable ability, starting with Chef Alex Cornicelli. I love the way that she's got that great sear on her pork chop and that little sort of play of an egg salad as a garnish on top. Wasn't that great?
That was great. You know, I like that big fat, like, here's a piece of meat.
It was gorgeous, but it was on the edge of being tough, but it was delicious. I think Mark had the best cooked pork, and the kusa was wonderful.
Yes, but for me, Mark's presentation was pretty messy, and he didn't elevate the egg.
Chef Marcus embraced the preserved duck egg, using it as a seasoning in his broth and by integrating a bevy of different spices.
He really is making global cuisine. He's bringing together all these exotic spices, all these different experiences from his journey, but it was hard to distinguish. The flavor combinations, there was a lot of them, but it was the same of a lot of that deepness.
So, do you know which one of your esteemed colleagues is going to have to sit out the dessert round?
Unfortunately, we do.
Okay.
The stakes are high today because we want to showcase the best of ourselves. And of course, you want the opportunity to do that for as many rounds as you can.
I'm not worried about anything with my dish. I'm here today to win for City Harvest and to win for New Yorkers.
There you go.
So, whose dish is on the chopping block? So, whose dish is on the chopping block?
Oh, Mark!
Chef Mark, you've been chopped.
Judges?
Mark, unfortunately, when it came to the dish, we just felt that the herbs got a little bit charred and were a little bit bitter, and the presentation could have been a little bit more refined. But when you cook, you remind us all to have a great time. Thank you. Buddy.
Especially when he
I got chopped.
bit into that piece of meat that he made.
I know I've sat there before, and it could have been any of us. But I got some awareness for City Harvest. I'm very excited about that.
Just like Chris. Just like Chris. Better get myself set.
Alex, Marcus, you've made it to dessert.
To get to the dessert round and have the privilege of competing against Marcus, it's inspiring.
Alex Cornicelli is a fierce competitor. We're putting it all on the line. I bet it wins.
They have a lot of respect for each other, I can understand. They work together, so.
And you must use cake flour,
Sounds like we need to bake.
farmer's cheese,
Farmer's cheese.
baby beets, and cola. 30 minutes on the clock, starting now.
Farmer's cheese.
As a chef, I always like examining raw ingredients and imagining what I will make with them. And I feel blueberries and beets could feed off each other really nicely in the dessert. So I'm going to make a blueberry and beet tart. And you can use this cola to make a granita. I mix the cola with lemon juice, lemon zest, and a little instant coffee melted down in a little hot water. $50,000 would mean a lot to St. Jude, but I'm taking this one round at a time.
I see cola and baby beans.
Put that
Let's
into
go for some chocolate. Because beef and chocolate work together.
We get chocolate
So
now.
I'm making a kladdkaka, which is Swedish for fruity chocolate cake, with beef cola syrup. In Sweden, all sugar very often comes from beef. That was an invitation to show my roots.
I'm watching Alex. She's measuring precisely, and curious to see what she's got going over there.
There's no way to escape something like
You have to be
crostata without cooking.
precise.
So I
In
really
some
want to
dishes,
make
you have to be
crostata.
precise.
A crostata is sort of a casual form of tart, where fruit of some form is placed in the center and folded up around it. So I put the crostata dough in the oven. Now I'm going to deal with the beets. I want to get a little blueberry beet filling going. So I saute the blueberries, stir all that together, kind of let it come this big old blueberry mess.
All right, chefs, 20 minutes left on the clock. Yogurt coming back.
I love these combinations: yogurt, beet, cheese.
Those flavors are so Scandinavian, right up his alley.
I make farmer's cheese two ways. One is frozen, one is soft. And the whole idea is to really feel two different textures.
He's making ice cream.
Oh, there it goes, there it goes. It's going
I'm
somewhere.
impressed by these talents.
It is going down in the ice cream machine.
Marcus is so athletic, he's tremendously graceful. He's like a ballerina in the kitchen.
Alex and my
Ballerina in the
sister,
kitchen.
we might look different, but we're very similar in many ways. We share a lot, and I know she's here to do the best for her charity, and so am I.
Farmer's cheese is a little bit salty and it's a little bit curdy, so I want to thicken it up with some cream. Add a little vanilla and drizzle of honey so that there's sort of a little bit of a ribbon effect.
All right, chefs, you've got 10 minutes left on the clock. Something not good.
Something sort of
What is that?
burning.
Oh, the pine nuts. See, the pine nuts are burning, but don't panic.
At this point, he's got to do something fast, or his dish is done.
I'm not going to go out. I'm burnt.
I didn't realize he got pine nuts.
All right, chefs, you have 5 minutes left.
Under this kind of pressure, it's like an out-of-body experience, but it's a privilege to have the potential to make a huge difference in someone's life. I never knew I was signing on for that when I started cooking.
I want to do another spin on the frozen yogurt. So I mixed some beet juice, yogurt, and raspberries, farmer's cheese. Now I get two different temperatures and two different textures.
Chefs, this is your 2-minute
What
warning.
about the ice cream in the ice cream machine?
I grabbed some tarragon because tarragon has a sort of fennel anise quality, sort of like a biscotti with a coffee in an Italian bakery.
The amount of work that Marcus is getting done here is unbelievable.
He's got to give himself enough time to get on the plate, huh?
Oh my God, he hasn't got the yogurt out.
He's waiting. He's looking. There he goes.
Yeah, but I was worried too.
Utilize the time to the max.
How much time?
1 minute, Alex.
60 seconds.
And Alex is running too.
I run to the glass show to grab the bonita and I'm thinking this is a chopped cliche, right? If I don't get this bonita on the plate, then my plate won't have cola on it.
10,
And that's a basket ingredient.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Calm down, buddy. Calm down.
3, 2, 1. Time's up.
Wow. Amazing. Oh man, I can't stop saying wow myself. That was amazing. My heart was pumping.
So what did you do with cake flour, farmer's cheese, baby beets, and cola? Chef Marcus.
Judges, in front of you, you have the Swedish kladdkaka, gooey chocolate cake with a beet cola syrup and farmer's cheese two ways. One is frozen, one is soft.
Wow, got a lot done.
The layers of flavors here are just like unreal. I don't know how you did this in 30 minutes, quite frankly.
When I saw you combining the beets and the cheese, I was like, wow, that's so perfect. And you really brought out the sweetness of the beet.
The one glaring thing for me, I would like to see the pine nuts toast a little bit more. They still have a little bit of graininess to me. I know that you started a second batch, right, Marcus?
Yeah, I did.
So I would just like to see them toast a little bit more.
Chef Marcus, thank you. Last dessert, Chef Alex.
I've made for you a blueberry tart with farmer's cheese beets tarragon and a little bit of honey cream
That says dessert.
with a cola and coffee granita.
Marcus's also says dessert too. Wow.
I just have to comment on the crust. It's unbelievable. It's so buttery and so perfectly not sweet.
This is the perfect balance of the cheese, the blueberry, and the tarragon. To me, is like amazing.
And I love the fact that you knew the importance of having temperature, texture. You both said, you know what, it's not going to be enough to just bake something. You need to have something cold to offset everything else. I mean, that is just on point. I guess if I had to say one critique, it would be that the frying of the tarragon made a little bit of the top greasy.
Chefs made it through 3 grueling rounds, and now the question is, whose meal was better? Thank you, chefs.
We gave everything they had. I mean, it's been an honor to cook with you. I think we will become better judges of this. Right?
I hope that that's true.
This has got to be an excruciatingly difficult decision.
Yeah.
You look at the dessert round, and Marcus did so many different preparations within the span of 30 minutes. He made a moist chocolate cake, the beets mimicked the raspberries, and then he made a yogurt, farmer's cheese, parfait in essence, that was perfectly balanced, but he had raw pine nuts, and I just didn't enjoy it in the dessert.
Alex and that crostata, she made an amazing dough. Then she just finessed it with the perfect balance of texture with the granita, the cola, and the coffee. I loved her dessert.
I just have 2 issues with Alex's dessert. It was the fact that she fried the tarragon and it made the surface a little greasy. And I just felt that she put a lot of that topping on the crostata, and it sort of made the presentation suffer a little bit.
For me, I believe Alex's appetizer was so succulently good. I mean, those goat brains with the mustard and the cornichon was just spectacular. And I think the first course for Marcus was, while delicious, a little disjointed and too salty.
Especially the fact you didn't have enough.
What's your opinion on the main course?
For me, Marcus's pork chops was dry, and the broth helped, yes, but I thought his flavors were one note.
I don't agree with you that it was one note. Marcus did a very complex broth. The utilization of the dessert chocolate was something I was looking for, because it's just such a difficult ingredient to work with.
I think Alex did a really good job with it too. I just love the egg with the preserved egg. You know, she put ginger on the kusa, which was this whole other flavor level.
I thought that Alex's pork took a lot of guts to cook a double chop, and I think she got it almost perfect. Mine was a little tough, but I think Marcus's dish was so rich and deep. I was very, very impressed.
Are you ready with the decision?
Yes.
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 She made great dishes. Well, Marcus did too, but Alex is the one I'm leading
I feel good about the food I made. I feel good about the charity I represented. And I feel really proud of the fact that I came here and I held my own till the end.
I don't want to be chopped. I want to win this for CCAP. I know those kids. I know what it means for them to experience and learn those life skills that we take for granted.
Which chopped judge is going to be the next chopped champion? There's only one way to find out.
Come on.
So, whose dish is on the chopping block? Chef Alex. Chopped. Judges.
Yeah. This whole game for us came down to flavors at the end of the day. We felt you developed beautiful flavors in the first course. The second course, we felt that your chop was wonderful, but we thought that Marcus developed some flavors just by a little bit better than you did. So we had you dead even go into the dessert round. Your dessert was amazing, but Marcus cooked a spectacular dessert, and that's the way we had to call it. And for that reason, we have to chop you.
Congratulations.
A lot of mutual respect between those two.
Thank you. We all had to go through this process. I'm glad I made it as far as I did.
You did great,
You can
Alex.
accept something when it's delivered honestly. I'm proud of Marcus. I feel really privileged to have competed today.
And that That means, Chef Marcus Samuelson, that you are the Chopped champion, and you will be representing the Chopped judges in the All-Stars finale.
I'm super happy. Like they would say in Ethiopia, I take a lot of responsibility to make the cooking industry more diverse. Because I believe in the more diverse chefs, the better American food will be. For everyone.
This is the championship round. Jeffrey and Penny up against
I don't think it's necessary for a commercial. Well, I gotta say that was one of the most interesting episodes of Chopped that I have ever watched. And to see the roles reversed of those judges is just absolutely unbelievable, because they get to step into the competitor's shoes and get to know what it's like to go through the Chopped kitchen and everything like that. By the way, you may have noticed, you may have noticed me with this pen. What exactly was I doing with it? Well, I knew this video was going to be lengthy, and I wanted to try and take down my own notes, so that's just basically something right there. Let's see, Chris, Alex, Marcus, and Mark. Yeah, really close names, I gotta say that for a fact. It was just absolutely something to say in the least bit. Let's see here. I'm just going back through my notes just so I can give my critique on this. No, I'm not trying to steal from Kyle's critiques. I wouldn't dare do that to my game show brother in arms. I respect him a lot. We have a lot of mutual respect between each other too. I mean, even though sometimes on this play to win stuff, when he talks about all these jokes against me, he's going for entertainment. He wants to bring a sort of laugh to everybody. I mean, much like I try to bring a lot of entertainment when I did Game Show Temple Live. Remember, I'm taking a sabbatical from it to focus on my college career, so that's exactly what I'm doing at this point. Well, college is not a career, but you understand what I mean. Let me see here. Chris was playing for Rett syndrome awareness. You can see that I got really emotional at that point because Chris's young relative, I can't remember the exact connection because the video was going by so fast. Madison, I think her name was, to know that she was 10 years old at the time that this happened, and especially the fact that she needs 24-hour care and can be misdiagnosed as autism or something like that, that really got to me. I mean, that just really affected me. I mean, I know I'm not autistic, but since Asperger's is part of the autism spectrum, I can understand where that's coming from and everything like that. But raising awareness is definitely the way to go. And Alex playing for St. Jude Children's Hospital, I had no idea that she was a mother until she revealed it in this episode. I'll just leave it at that because I'm just so speechless. But I respect what she was doing there. Marcus playing for CCAP for culinary arts towards children. Everybody has to learn to cook every once in a while, because you can't depend on boxed lunches or anything like that forever. You gotta at least make something. So that's one thing that I believe. And Mark playing for City Harvest, that was really amazing because oopsie daisy, I dropped my pen. But when you're playing for a charity that is trying to stop like city hunger or something like that, that's what City Harvest was all about. But when you're playing for a charity that is trying to end hunger, I mean, wherever it is, no one deserves to be hungry in this nation, and that was absolutely a really good charity to try and go for and everything. These judges who were competitors, they had really great sights, but as everybody knows, only one can win. Let me go back through the ingredient list from the baskets, just in case anyone was wondering. The appetizer was potato pancakes, Korean melons, purple kohlrabi, but goat brains? Ugh. And for those that really screamed out at me, I had an exclamation mark, an exclamation point right there, whichever ingredient I questioned, because sometimes I can't understand some of the ingredients, and when I saw goat brains, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Oh man! But then when I learned that it was creamy and everything like that, okay, I can understand vegetarian ways, and I respect vegetarians, and, well, just gotta learn from a couple things every once in a while. That was just absolutely something. But then, one quote that really screamed out to me. Oh, I'm losing myself. Jeffrey actually said mistakes were delicious. See, I'm going to let you see that right there just in case. But, it was just absolutely something, to say the least. Let's see. For Marcus, more lettuce. Alex, she was talking about acidity and that sort of thing. And the plate was busy, according to the judges. Mark was screaming. Let's see. Jeffrey was screaming about Mark's potato makings. That was something. And wet salsa for Chris. That may have been what caused him to get chopped first. So, because, he was making those quesadillas, and it was absolutely something, to say the least. Now, the entree, Berkshire pork, rack of Berkshire pork, kusa, which I learned is a zucchini, grape molasses, but preserved duck eggs? I would have been at a roadblock if I was given this basket. I would have learned something from the goat brains if I was able to do something about that, because, if someone else was doing something, I would try and follow that example just to, well, you gotta have a learning experience every once in a while, but I actually would have been at a roadblock with this particular entree basket. It was just absolutely something. And then going through the judges' notes, for Alex, the man thought of bacon and eggs, and Jeffrey said his meat was on the edge of being tough. I saw what Alex was doing, and Jeffrey had really good points there. Marcus had a complex dish. It was hard to pinpoint the spices for Amanda, basically, and the meat was a little dry. And Mark, charred herbs, too big, but abundant and successful. He had a good time doing that, but the charred herbs was what led to him being chopped. And if I said, well, never mind. I got caught up in the moment again. And lastly, for the dessert, cake flour, farmer's cheese, baby beets, and cola. You gotta be really, really imaginative with those things, because, well, farmer's cheese, baby beets, and cola do not mix well on my palate. But when Marcus and Alex made those desserts, I was really impressed with their imagination, because, I see that all the I see that all the time on Iron Chef America and other cooking shows as well. But really, they really looked awesome. I could have gone for either one of those. I really could have. And when it came down to judging, Marcus had great layers, but the pine nuts were raw. And Alex, unbelievable crust, awesome flavors, but the fried tarragon made the dish greasy. You gotta look at the flavor point of view, and that's what Jeffrey mentioned after Alex was chopped. Because, in those ways, if I'm thinking correctly, let's just say that Alex was outcooked by Marcus, in my view, just by a whisper. It was that close. As much as I was rooting for Alex, and I was actually rooting for these judges, as a matter of fact, because you never know who's going to win in these competitions. You never know who's going to make what, how it's going to taste, or anything like that. That's why you have to depend on the judges. But Alex was the one that I was rooting for. No offense against the other ones, but it's just how my mind was set and everything. But yeah, it was. I gotta say, this was really unbelievable. With Chopped, you get to see so many different talents come around, and they make all these great dishes. You just have to decide who's going to win $10,000 or $50,000, depending on the competition. I gotta say, this was one of the most interesting episodes of Chopped I've ever seen. And I gotta say, if I were to give it a good rating or a bad rating, I would actually give it 2 thumbs up, because you see so much creativity with this stuff. I cannot express enough. So, I'm just basically going to leave it at that. I thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you all next time for another Moments with Michael. And take care, everybody.